Hello, hello everyone. My name is MD Shail Khan, and today we are going to discuss about a case study, which is ASIC versus Stephen William Wizard. And in this case study, we are going to discuss about the various duties and responsibilities of the managers and the directors involved. Here, in this case study, Mr. Stephen William Wizard, who is a non-executive director of Telstra Corporations, um, uh, sets up a company called CTI, and that's a creative technology investment, and appoints Mr. Lay, one of his accountants, as the director of the company and the sole shareholder. Mr. Wizard also owns another company called Brigham Limited, and whose shares are held by Mr. Wizard and his family members. And as we go deep into the case study, we came to know that Brigham Limited enters into a loan agreement with CTI, which indicated that uh, CTI is going to utilize all its fund released through Brigham in purchasement of shares, which clearly showed that Mr. Wizard was going to get a lot of benefit in the near future. And according to the court findings, it was clearly showed that Mr. Stephen William Wizard was involved in three different transactions, which we are going to discuss in the upcoming slides. And moving on to the next slides, these are the events that led to the conviction of Mr. Wizard. The first one is Mr. Wizard purchased the shares of Sausage Limited. The second one, Mr. Wizard instructed Mr. Lay to sell the shares of Computershare. And the final one is Mr. Wizard instructed Mr. Lay to purchase the shares of KeyCorp Limited. So these were the three convictions on Mr. Wizard, and we are going to discuss about all these transactions in brief in the next slides. And I would like to conclude my part here and call my group member Sujata to continue. Thank you.
Hello, I am Sujata Adhikari. Initially, my friend Sahil gave introduction about the topic case Essex versus Stephen William Wizard and briefly talk about the events that led to the conviction. Now, I am going to give briefly details about the transaction that held in the cases. The details of first transaction under the cases is Mr. Wizard got confidential informations regarding the proposed merger of Sources Software Limited and Solution 6 Holding Limited. Here, the second transactions included was Wizard got the confidential information regarding the disinvestment decision of Telstra in respect to the shares of Computershare. And finally, in the third transaction, Mr. Wizard got confidential information regarding the acquisition of majority interest in K-Crop Limited by Telstra. And now I'm going to hand over this presentation to my another friend Pramila, and she will be talking about the duties and responsibilities placed by the director of the company.
In the case of ASIC versus William Stephen Wizard, there were certain duties and responsibility which was found to be breached by the director. As per the direction opinion of the court and Justice Finkelstein, the director of company, that is Mr. Wizard, breached various duties and responsibility which comes under two sections. The two sections are section 232 and section 183. So under these two sections, section 232 and section 183, his duties and responsibility were found to be breached as a director. There are several reasons for that breaching of duties and responsibility. The reason for the breach of duties and responsibility by Mr. Wizard are: the first one is he held the position of the director. As a director, he is obliged to many rules and regulations as well as protocol which he is obliged to. And the second one is confidential information was acquired by him. Confidential information are the secret message which is intended to be kept safe, so he could not have access to that confidential information. The third one is the information was used for his own benefit. Even after accessing the confidential information, that information could be used for the sake of the business upliftment. But the information was used for his own benefit, that is Mr. Wizard benefit. And the fourth one is the information enabled him to get advantage and benefit for his company CTI. The information which he obtained from the director is a director in from that company, he used that information for the advantage and benefit for his own company CTI. So there were mainly four reasons for the breach of duty and responsibility. The first one was he had the position of director and the confidential information was acquired by him. The information was used for his own benefit, and the last one was the information enabled him to get advantage and benefit for his own company CTI.
Hello, I'm Iris. Now I will present my part. The first one is most important points analyzed by the court for determining the punishment. First, the cost involved in the case was very high and significant to cause significant damage. Third one, the directors of the company are barred from using confidential information for their own benefit. More addition, the release provided by CA focused on avoiding any potential harm originally from any particular conduct. The last one is the main objective of Section 232 and 183 is to establish particular norm of proper conduct of commercial life. Other points considered by the court for the case. First, the occurrence of the loss from the transaction was irrelevant as it was due to the conditions prevalent in the market. Moreover, general deterrence of conduct should also be considered for imposing penalties. Moreover, formal retribution cannot be substituted by shaming. The last one is the punishment can be discounted in case of early acknowledgement and cooperation with the regulator. Last point, relevance of the case to the cooperation law of Australia. First, the ASIC and public procedures was significantly considered that the deal struck with the respondents to civil penalty proceedings should be shielded from criticism in the press of the court. Moreover, there is a high possibility that the commands passed by Justice Frankenstein was result in significant increase in the amount of the profit. The last one is it is informed the general public that it is fully possible for the court to levy more amount of penalties that had been originally prescribed by the regulator.